Will be hosting one of the most hilarious evenings this weekend. The Big Five comedy show has got nothing to do with their weight, which began last night, has included 5 of the country's favorite comedians, starring Stuart Taylor, Rasdien, Barry Hilton, Kagiso, Lediga, and Jason Goliath. This morning we chat to the show producer and comedian Stuart Taylor, as well as he's probably he's an icon, he's a legend. He's the man, Barry Hilton. Guys, how you doing?
Great, thank you very much.
He doesn't need introduction. For you, I have to give you an introduction.
Okay, yeah,
thank you very much. You said many things. This guy is the producer and comic.
But
this guy is I even paused there. Stuart, welcome back. Talk to me about the Big Five comedy show.
Yeah, listen, man, I had this idea that I'd love to showcase South African comedy outside of South Africa. Okay. And so we thought, the Big Five is a great South African, well-known South African thing. We figured, you can't just kind of jump with 2 feet into the water. Let's not just jump straight overseas. Let's do a South African tour, or at least kind of test the waters in South Africa. So we've done this tour this year, the Big Five comedy show, and it's been amazing. We started in Cape Town at the Grand Arena, and now we are here this weekend, tonight at Montecasino. Yeah. Last night was incredible.
But look, you've got 5, including yourself, 5 of the biggest living comedians that has ever graced comedy in this country, on the continent.
Thank you.
Cheers. But that is, I pay him regularly. So, but that is what we wanted it to be. We want people to go, wow, it's not a lineup you can see every week. It is really the very best of what South African comedy is. We want people to walk out there going, jeez, that was a show unlike any other.
I must admit, when you phoned me up, you said, do you want to do the Big Five comedy show?
I was going to ask you the question,
I said, as long as I can be the elephant.
And he is.
What's wrong with the others?
They're but thin.
So which one is he?
Which one am I?
Oh, you're probably the leopard.
Thanks.
And I was watching The Jungle Book the other day. You have to have respect for the elephant.
You have to get worried when a producer, a person like you who goes on national television, tells adult people, I was watching The Jungle Book. Is it something you missed in your childhood?
With my kids.
Yeah, sure.
Talk to me about, one thing I love about you is that you have this ability to not only stay current, but to find the humor that really resonates with South Africans. And so when a guy like Stuart Taylor calls you up and says, and he's well known for doing innovative things, and he says, I want you to be part of the Big Five. The plan is we're going to do a national tour.
Yes.
I wanted to go internationally first, and we're going to be exporting our culture through that comedy. What do you say?
I say great, because look, I work all over the world as it is.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate. And it's nice to know that people want to hear South Africans now. They want to hear us. So when we go overseas, we're going to go on stage and say, or when I go overseas, let's take that. I go on stage and say, listen, folks, there are some words in my vocabulary that are South African, but I'm going to teach them to you, because I'm not going to change my stuff to make you. You've got to listen to me now. So I say this word, and this word, and that's what it means. So are we ready? So go. So then I work with that. So the people, they love it, because people are generally the same. We got kids. People in Australia watch Jungle Book as well.
Yeah, they do.
No, they do, apparently.
Yeah, they do. I believe it. For me, the other interesting thing is that there's so much going on at the moment. Are comedians spoiled for choice? Do you find it easier to do comedy now than maybe 5 years? Or were there other stuff going on back then too?
Yes, but it's different. May I speak?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't do politics.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Comrades. I don't do politics at all. I stay away from politics. It bores me to tears. So I talk about my life, what happens in life, and this day-to-day stuff. Yeah. Yes. Other guys do politics. Other guys rant and rave. So we each have our own style. We spoke we were on a radio show the other day, and they said that's what it's about. What is comedy now in South Africa? Comedy is so huge in the world. Yeah. It's become genre driven. You go see a jazz comedian now.
Wow.
You can get an R&B comedian.
That's crazy. The growth.
Yeah, that's really
massive.
Yeah, everyone's got their own style.
Interesting thing Barry mentioned is all the different styles. When you're putting a concept together like this, what does he bring as opposed to a Jason, as opposed to you?
We were just talking about that. You know what, from a producer perspective, we do go, let's look at, we've got a kind of wish list of 10 South African comedians we'd love to use over the next couple of years in this brand. But we really want to have it balanced. We want an audience to walk in there and not watch the same style or the same thing over and over. Last night, just before Barry went on stage, I said, you know, the beauty of Jason is Jason's going to talk about his own thing. He's not going to touch what Joey spoke about.
No.
And we're cognizant of that when we come up with a lineup. We want people to walk out there going, it was so varied. It's something for everyone.
Something for everyone.
And so, I mean, we do consider that. Is there too much overlap between these two comics? Yeah, I think so. Okay, cool. So let's use this comic and we'll save this one for later. I mean, we hope to be doing this brand on many stages over the next many years.
Here's a question.
It'll be called, in about 10 years' time, it'll be called the Old Five.
The Old Five plus friends.
Yeah.
When you create a comedy event, especially in the current climate with so many comedy events, as you know, there are a litany of them now, from Blacks Only to you name. Where do you pitch this at? Because it's not like you can't see Barry somewhere else and you can't see the guy somewhere else. Where do you pitch it at commercially to say, you know what, this is very different from everything else that's out there?
If I can speak for you there, from what I got,
okay, if you're going to speak for me, is this a ventriloquist thing?
No, it is a ventriloquist. Okay, what I want to do is, I'm not sure. So, Stuart, when he pitched the idea to me, he says, Baz, would you like to do this? I said, well, who's going to be on the show? Oh, wow. And I basically said to him, well, that's something for everybody. Yeah. So that's where he's pitching it at, everybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, you can come to our show.
But it is really, at the end of the day, we want to create a premier brand. And none taken away from ensemble shows. Give a great platform to up-and-coming acts. So Blacks Only will have amazing up-and-coming acts. A lot of producers will have up-and-coming acts, and I take my hat off to them. That's got its place. But for us, we really want to go, who are the legends of South African comedy? What is the absolute cream of the crop? That is what the Big Five is about. It's about the biggest names, the very best that SA's got to offer. That's what you're going to come and watch when you watch the Big Five comedy show.
Awesome. Ticket sales, where can people go? There's a performance tonight?
There's a performance tonight, 8 o'clock tonight at the Teatro at Montecasino. Come on now, what better place to spend your Saturday evening at CompuTicket, or there's a box office at the venue. Pull in, we'd love to see you there.
Don't pull in and then say, I'm a friend of Stuart Taylor's or Barry Hilton. Just buy your ticket. Okay. Comedian Barry Hilton, comedian producer for the Big Five comedy show, Stuart Taylor in studio. Tonight there's a show happening. There is an age restriction though. If you are 16 years and younger, please don't come. Don't get your mom or your dad to bring you.
Come with your parents.
You can come, but come with your parents.
It's parent.
I didn't know that's an interesting thing. I remember watching Peter Dirkhuis when I was young. I was like 12, and what he said was amazing. And I would technically not be allowed in that show because people are like, oh, you must be 16. But
also,
you know your kids. You
look so much older. Okay, Michael Lohman is in studio. Second performance. We'll have a chat to him a little bit later.